Several inches of rare southern snow and icy roads left many central Georgia businesses closed for a part of the week. Emergency management teams urged people to stay off the road so families were able to enjoy some snow days.
And even though that was the case, some businesses still stayed open, which concerned some employees. Maggie Fitzgerald joins us in studio to verify a common question you asked us.
That's right, Frank and Lori. While many schools and offices were empty, some workplaces braved the storm and stayed open. But folks were hesitant to risk getting on the icy roads and were possibly worried about losing their jobs if they didn't clock in person. So we set out to verify how Georgia employees could be impacted if they refuse to head into the office because of the snow. Our question: can employees be fired for refusing to show up to work during a snowstorm? Let's verify. Our sources are employment attorney Constance Cooper with the Barrett and Farahani law firm, the U.S. Department of Labor, and Georgia Law. The snowstorm left roads covered in ice early Wednesday morning, causing plenty of wrecks and traffic jams that weren't resolved until well into the afternoon. Constance Cooper says employees in Georgia don't have many protections from firing, even during severe weather.
There are very few protections for workers. Workers can be fired for any reason except for an illegal reason.
An illegal reason would include firing someone for discriminatory reasons, like for their race, sex, age, or gender. Another exception would include protected activities, like whistleblowers filing complaints. The Department of Labor says bosses can't fire an employee for filing a complaint with the agency.
Look at who's being penalized for not coming in, and just look and see how is the policy being applied differently depending on who the person is.
If the firing isn't a cover for discrimination or retaliation, then the employer is in the clear. But you can be fired for not showing up during hazardous weather. In fact, Georgia is an at-will employment state. That means employers can end employment at any time for any reason, as described in Georgia Code 34-7-1.
There's no distinction between a valid reason and a bad reason for firing you. They can fire you for something absolutely ridiculous. They can fire you for something that's incredibly unfair.
While Cooper says employers should not force their employees to come in during hazardous conditions, under the law, there's no stopping employers in Georgia from firing workers who don't show up to work. So we can verify, yes, employees can be fired for refusing to show up to work during a snowstorm. And one exception is truck drivers. The U.S. Code of Federal Regulations protect truck drivers from driving if the conditions are unsafe, as long as that is reasonable. The driver's employer can't retaliate for looking out for their safety and for the safety of others. Back to you.
Thank you, Maggie. While our reporting crew saw some truck drivers who spent the night in Perry instead of driving overnight, many semi-trucks were stuck on the interstates Wednesday morning.